marriage vows and the signing of the legal documents, Catherine and Michael will bring their candles down to this table here, where they will light the unity candle and extinguish their individual candles as a symbol of their union and their new life again. So we continue with the order of service on the screen or in your books. We have come here today in the presence of God to join Michael and Catherine in holy matrimony. Scripture teaches that marriage is a lifelong partnership, uniting a woman and a man in heart, mind and body. In the joy of their union, husband and wife enrich and respond to each other, growing in tenderness and understanding. Happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. In the art of marriage, we read, "The little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is at no time taking the other for granted. The courtship should not end with the honeymoon. It should continue through all the years. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is standing together, facing the world. It is forming a circle of love that gathers in the whole family. It is doing things for each other, not in an attitude of duty or sacrifice, but in the spirit of joy. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is not expecting the husband to wear a halo or the wife to have wings of an angel. It is not looking for perfection in each other. It is cultivating flexibility, patience, understanding, and a sense of humour. It is having capacity to forgive and forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which each can grow. It is finding room for the things of the Spirit. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is establishing a relationship in which the independence is equal, dependence is mutual, and the obligation is reciprocal. It is not only marrying the right partner, it is being the right partner. And so now we're going to pray for Catherine and Michael. Bless Catherine and Michael with wisdom and pleasure. Be their friend and companion in joy, their comfort in need and sorrow. And when life is ended, welcome them into your presence, there with all your people to praise your holy name. Blessed be God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, as in the beginning, so now, and forever. Amen. And now I invite Catherine and Michael to pray.
Blessed are you, loving God. Your Spirit binds us together. Crown our lives with your goodness. Sustain us all our days with your love. Amen.
Well done. First part is well done. Okay, so I would like to invite everybody to sit at this point, and I will ask Tim and Rebecca to come forward and give their reading.
Uh, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient, love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful, or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And now faith, hope and love abide. These three, and the greatest of these is love. For the word of the Lord.
Marriage is love. If two are caring as they're sharing life's hopes and fears, if the music of laughter outweighs the sadness of tears, marriage is togetherness. If both derive pleasure from mere presence of each other, yet no jealousies restrict, worry or smother, marriage is freedom. If achievements mean more when they benefit two, and consideration is shown with each point of view, marriage is respect. And if togetherness, freedom, and respect are combined with a joy that words can never fully define, then marriage is love.
Thank you, God. I have a story to tell. A story told in the words of a woman and a man. The woman begins. I was catching up with a couple of friends on a Friday night for a drink. I remember this tall, handsome man in a blue sweater, a table across from me. The man begins his story. I was out with my best mate. The two of us were having Friday after work beers at my favourite bar. On the table beside us was this most beautiful woman I have ever laid eyes on. I introduced myself, and before long, we struck up a conversation. The woman continues. We chatted and danced and exchanged numbers. He asked me on a date a week later. I remember the chemistry was there from the beginning. He always made me laugh and was such a gentleman. He opened every door for me, even the car doors. He never let me pay for a thing, and he always showed me complete respect. I remember thinking how amazingly we got along. It was always such fun, and I felt so comfortable with him. The man continues. Around a month into dating, I came down with a man flu. Yes, very serious. She came round with a care package to make me feel better. This is when I started falling head over heels over her. The woman continues. I was living with my parents at the time we met and was looking for a rental in the Newtown or Hobart area. The man continues. I suggested she move in with me at Newtown. My mate and I went to Launceston to watch a game of football, and on my return found her and all her worldly belongings on my doorstep. So that was that. We were living together. The woman says, as much as it went against the norm of the stages of relationships, and people would think we were crazy for moving in together so soon, it just felt so right. Deep down, it just felt like he was the one for me. Of course, this is Catherine's and Michael's story, told with their permission, and it's just the beginning. Michael continues the story. After 2 months, about 2 months after moving in, Catherine became pregnant with our son Hunter. We were both so excited, and I knew she'd be such a great mum, and hopefully one day my wife. Catherine goes on to tell of her pregnancy, cementing their relationship. The love he showed for me and our unborn child was unconditional. And once Hunter was born, the love and patience he showed with Hunter and me was truly amazing. I was a very nervous first-time mum, and Michael was always there for me. When Hunter was born, I didn't think it was possible, but I fell even deeper in love with him. Those of you who know Michael will know that he's a true romantic, and he tells of proposing to Catherine. 9 months into our relationship, I plucked up the courage to ask Catherine's dad for permission to marry his youngest daughter. Luckily, he said yes. So I decided the place to propose would be on a surprise trip to Melbourne. Catherine thought we were going away for a weekend in Orford. I secretly packed a few extra things in her suitcase and off we went. Even when we arrived at the airport, she thought we were picking someone up. We arrived in Melbourne and then off to our upmarket hotel for the weekend. By this time, I had the feeling she was on to me. We went for tea that night and then arrived back at our hotel. We went up to the roof VIP section of the hotel where I had arranged with the hotel staff an area where I was going to propose. The sun was going down. I got down on one knee and well, the rest is history. And Catherine says this. The proposal was just the beginning of many things that Michael has done to show his love for me. He's so very, very thoughtful and kind. The detail and thought that goes into the things he organises for me, or even little notes that he writes me, melts my heart every time. I feel so blessed to have met such an amazing man and father to our son. I could only dream of the life I'm living and really try to cherish every day. I feel that a relationship is about being there for the other person through thick and thin. And And I can say without a doubt that Michael would be there for me no matter what, and vice versa. I look forward to marrying Michael and officially becoming a family and declaring our love for one another in front of all our beautiful family and friends. I'm excited about our future together and look forward to what lies ahead. Well, Michael and Catherine, your wedding day is finally here, with your beautiful friends and family gathered. Your story tells us that you know how blessed you are to have each other. It also tells us that you know what unconditional love is and you practice it. Putting the other person first, being emotionally there for each other, committing wholly to each other, trusting each other with your hopes and your dreams. You might not realise it, but you are a blessing to others because of who you are and because of this strong and deep relationship you nurture so well. May your love continue to mature and flourish as you move into this next stage of your life together as a married couple. And may God richly bless you, whatever life holds for you. I'd like to conclude with some words from one of my favourite poets.